Joining us now from Washington, D.C., Steve Copperroot. He is president of the Animal Industry Foundation. And from Boston, Stephen Wise, an animal rights attorney who will be teaching a course in animal law at Harvard. Thank you both for being with us. Professor Wise, when I went to law school 20 years ago, I never envisioned a course in animal law, much less the Animal Channel. What's it called? Animal Planet? But things have changed. Why?
Because people are caring about animals. They understand that they may have recourse when things happen to animals, and they see the legal system as being receptive to it. And
in fact, there was a recent Court of Appeals, Federal Court of Appeals case in which a zoo visitor sued over what, and was it successful?
It was. It was the first time that a person received standing to sue under the Federal Animal Welfare Act, which is a significant breakthrough in the ability of people like me to try to protect non-human animals.
Yeah, what were they suing for? Companionship for a chimpanzee?
No, they were concerned that the USDA had not promulgated regulations that were appropriate for primates.
Stephen, do you worry about that this may go a little bit too far, that this perhaps in the minds of some Americans represents a legal system run amok?
No, we're just at the beginning of animal law and animal rights law. It has a long way to go to redress the severe imbalance that exists in the legal system against animals.
You know, actually, I meant that question to the other Steve. Unfortunately, we've got two Steves, so I'm going to call you by your last names. Mr. Copperroot, that question was really for you. A system run amok?
I think so. I think this is the kind of thing that nations as wealthy and indulged as the United States, it's the kind of thing we talk about, it's the kind of thing we have time to do. It's almost a sad kind of contradiction that we've been watching the kind of things we've been watching out of Turkey. We're sitting here today talking about whether we have happy monkeys. That to me is an imbalance. That to me is a system out of whack.
Well, here's what some people may worry about. You take it to its logical extent, Mr. Copperroot, and that means that for pharmaceutical companies, no more experimentation that adds great value to what we know in science and medicine. On animal experiments. And what about the food industry? Are we going to ban killing livestock and poultry for food consumption because it's cruel?
Well, you're dealing with, this isn't a new concept, Greg. It's something that's been around for 20 years. It's an old strategy of the animal rights movement, which is if you can't legislate them out of business and you can't regulate them out of business, then let's try to cost them out of business. You're absolutely right. The impact on biomedical research and necessary cures and treatments for disease, the impact on family farming and the ability to produce food in this country at the price Americans have come to enjoy and to be proud of, that's all under jeopardy now. If the court system becomes clouded with layman suits brought against highly intricate operations that they may not understand when they first look at them.
Professor Wise, how would you respond to that?
These suits are not aimed at family farms. They're aimed at factory farms, which is a brutally cruel system that harms billions of animals a year. An English judge 2 years ago found that there's a systematic cruelty in the way that animals such as chickens and hogs are treated, and there is no protection either at the state or federal level for any of the 9 billion animals, 9 billion, who are killed every year in the United States.
Might it get to the point someday where we're not allowed to eat meat, poultry, that sort of thing, because killing the animals for food consumption is simply too cruel? Professor?
There are ways of raising non-human animals that are not cruel. Those ways are not being used now. They are often raised in cruel manners. That's the major problem, and now and will be the major problem for the next 50 to 100 years.
And Professor, let me stay with you for just a moment. Some advances have been made to protect, for example, dolphins who have often been captured and were rendered nearly extinct in some areas, along with the tuna nets to capture tuna. Give us an update on that.
I don't really know too much about it. There was a lawsuit filed about 2 days ago where groups are concerned, environmental groups are concerned about the fact that there's a weakening of those kinds of regulations and that they are concerned that dolphins will be killed because of it. And we'll have to see the outcome of that suit.
When you teach your class, what essentially are you going to be teaching, Professor?
I teach about why human beings have rights, what's so special about us, why animals might be entitled to rights, what kind of rights they might be entitled to, and how you might get them.
And finally, Mr. Copperrood, you wouldn't bicker with some of these laws that have been invoked, and I'm talking about the 1985 Federal Animal Welfare Act, in which it really prosecuted, not as misdemeanors, but felony, people who have been abusing animals. I remember one puppy killer trial in which the man was finally put behind bars because he'd done it so many times, just deliberately killing puppies.
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, no one condones, no thinking, feeling human being condones outright cruelty. And I would beg to differ with Mr. Wise when it comes to the processes by which farm animals are raised. These are thinking, feeling human beings who are raising these animals. They're not abusing them intentionally. No one quibbles with necessary law, wise regulation, necessary regulation. But I'm a little concerned that we're elevating animals and at the same time lowering the status of humans when it comes to the issues of legal rights and access to our courts. I mean, I guess I would ask Mr. Wise, do you essentially create the same status for an animal, a dolphin, a monkey, a pig, a dog, as you do for minor children or custodial adults?
All right, gentlemen, I'm afraid that'll have to be the last word. Steve Copperrood and Professor Stephen Wise, thank you both. We appreciate it very much.